All right, Rakhem. So we're continuing on with part two of this discussion. And so you were saying some really fascinating things because the narrative on social media right now is that men who are sleeping with multiple women or who have had sex with a lot of women, those men are not bonding, they're not connecting to women, they're not feeling, they don't really care, is basically the message. And it's because they're sleeping with a multitude of women. And so they're not getting the bonding hormones. And really and truly underneath what they're saying is that men should be monogamous and stop sleeping around. So and so the idea that the men who are sleeping around, um, they're detached. They're not actually connecting with women. And you had your own theory around that. So can you speak on that again, please?
Yeah, so I agree. It's just the people putting that narrative out there. They want men to be monogamous. Most of that is these women who are in love with a dark masculine who has options. They don't like the fact that he has options. So they try to say that doesn't go deep and doesn't connect emotionally and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not true. He doesn't want to be with her in that way.
Mm.
Um, he's going to be with the woman who it makes sense to be with.
Mm.
And that woman has to be, because you were talking about the whole infidelity thing.
Mhm.
That woman has to be somebody where he feels like, yeah, this is somebody I can see myself being fidelitous to.
Mm.
Like I know my nature. I know that I have access to a lot of women. And so the woman I'm going to settle down with is going to be a woman who I feel like, yeah, I'm going to be fine being only with her. I'm not
Mm.
going to have buyer's remorse. I'm not going to go out and cheat and stuff like that. And so a lot of women are upset by the fact that these particular men that they're referring to are not deciding to settle down with them.
Mm. Yeah. And it's not even it's not true because I know with you, you're a polyamorous man, you've been polyamorous for a long time, and you connect with women deeply, with multiple women, very not just sexually, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, like you connect. So the idea that if a man's sleeping with multiple women, like, he doesn't feel any bonding, no connection, no nothing, it's just dopamine, like that's not true for you, Rakim.
I agree. I feel like I fall in love.
Hmm.
I feel like I honor how I feel. I feel like I honor the woman's feelings.
Hmm.
I feel like I speak on how I feel. I feel like I do the best I can to honor that connection. So if it's really strong, I go with it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and for a lot of women, I am a dark masculine. I was talking to a sister the other day,
Hmm.
and I was asking her. She really broke down some very interesting things. Like I was saying, "Do you feel I'm dark masculine?" And ultimately, she said yes. She
Hmm.
said, "Your dark masculine energy, Rakim, is kind of below the surface a bit.
Hmm.
Like you don't kind of lead with that,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's like kind of right there."
Yeah.
And you don't, a lot of women don't realize it until they kind of get closer to you and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that's, but part of it is me also being open and being poly
Hmm.
and believing women should be free and that kind of thing. So
And the thing too is like part of the reason why dark masculine men are able to be so good in the bedroom is because they can feel the woman. Like how
correct.
are you gonna make incredible love to a woman to where she's orgasming like crazy and you don't feel anything? Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, and because I was going to mention that earlier.
Hmm.
But yes, it's really the opposite of what these women are saying. The truth is, like, these are men who are actually able to feel deeply and actually connect with women very deeply. You see what I'm saying? It's the men who are not sleeping around a lot of women who probably have a hard time actually connecting to the woman.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? That's why the sex is not good because
Yeah.
you're not tapped into her
Yeah.
and what she wants and what she needs and what she desires and being able to make the adjustment in the moment. You see what I'm saying? And you're kind of being mechanical with how you approach it. Where the dark masculine is like, it's like no, he's in touch with who he's in bed with.
Mm.
And that's probably one of his superpowers is his ability to do that with all the women he's with.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because it really is the opposite. Like, no,
Mm.
if I'm in touch with a lot of women and can feel them and connect with them, I'm probably going to be connected with a lot of women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that also leads to, me honoring the feminine because I know it, I understand it. I
Hmm.
respect it. I enjoy being with the feminine.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so this whole thing around monogamy, where they're trying to like convince the man to just be with one woman, that's not how he became the powerful man that he is.
Mm.
If you believe that, go get with the virgin guy. But no, you don't want to do that, right? Like you don't want to be with the guy who's the virgin or just has one or two women under his belt. You don't want to be with him.
Yeah.
You want to go try and lock down a dark masculine, and then when he doesn't want to be with you, you complain instead of you developing your dark feminine.
Mm. Yeah, it's so frustrating when I see, especially men, male influencers, saying this shit. Like for example, Attachment Adam, he talks a lot about these men, their oxytocin receptors or numb and this and that. And he uses all these chemical, biological terms, hormonal terms, as if he understands what it is to be a dark masculine man. And I could look at him, I could just look at him, and I'm like, this man does not know how to make love like a dark masculine man.
Absolutely. And that's always been a thing. There's always been like a battle, like you had the beta males, what I'm saying, always resentful with the dark masculine men.
Mm.
Instead of those men just doing the work, like become a dark masculine. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like get on that path, get in the gym and, learn to make love and learn to be in touch with the feminine. You see what I'm saying? But instead of doing that, you're going to pander to the women.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And there's always been men like that. It's like their thing is like to pander,
Yeah.
and their thing is to like throw stones and rocks at the dark masculine. But I've tried to explain this to men before. Like it doesn't matter how much you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not gonna change the fact that she wants to be the dark masculine.
Mm.
She's not coming to your side of the fence just because you're putting out all these terms and stuff like that. These women do not care.
Mm.
They'll go to you and listen to you to get some soothing. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because they're hurt, right? Or
Yeah.
they're whatever. So yeah, they'll drag him and trash him and all that kind of stuff in front of you. But guess what? When they go to bed at night, they want to be in the bed with him, not you, bro.
Yeah. So one other thing that the person said in the reel in regards to men who have access to a lot of women sexually is that for some men they eventually feel like even though these women are saying, "Oh, I'm so in love with you" and whatever, in the man's mind he's thinking, "You don't even like me. You just like how I make you feel." So is that
Absolutely.
something you've ever thought or felt, Rakim?
Well, yeah. So you and I talked before, like just because a woman says she loves you or is in love with you doesn't mean anything.
Mm.
Because in her mind, well, what is love to you? Like, what does that mean?
Mm.
I look at how you're treating me, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
how you're functioning around me. And I'm using that to judge if you love me or not.
Yeah.
Like, you just saying it is not the end all be all.
Hmm.
Like, what are you doing in my life on a daily basis that kind of shows me that you actually love me? So women saying that, like men, we hear that, right? Dark masculine men hear that. We're like, okay, let's see how you show up. And oftentimes these women show up in a way that does not indicate that they actually love these men.
Mm.
Like you said, they love how the man makes them feel. They love that he's the best sexual partner she's ever had in her entire life.
Yeah.
They love the fact that he looks a certain way and helps her feel more confident about herself or feel better about herself. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But it's not that she actually loves him for him. That was a discussion we had a while ago when I was saying like these women are always trying to change their dark masculine. If you're
Hmm.
trying to change him, you don't love him. Even women complain like, well, we just want the best for him and this and that. Okay, well, let him choose that. In the meantime, just be with him as he is. You said you love him as he is, right?
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So that means if he never changes, you're okay. You understand? But
Yeah.
the truth is, you're not okay.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You want to change him because you don't love him as he is.
Mm.
That's the truth of the matter.
Mm. 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 Okay. Wow. So there was a Facebook page I was looking at. It was I think it's geared towards men because it's called Great Man Society, and he was talking about detachment, and he listed some things about detachment that are attractive. And I'm only going to read a few, and then I'm going to get your opinion. So he said, detached people don't chase, they attract. When you stop needing validation from others, your presence becomes magnetic. People want what they can't easily have. If someone goes cold on you, go colder. Not out of revenge, out of self-respect. Matching low energy is a boundary, not a game. Never reveal how much someone's absence affects you until you've processed it alone. Composure in loss is the most attractive quality a person can carry. The person who needs the relationship the least holds the most influence in it, not because they're cruel, but because they're complete without it. When people sense they can lose you, they show up differently. You don't have to threaten to leave, just genuinely be okay with it. Detachment is the result of having standards, not emptiness. Build a life so full that no single person's opinion can shake its foundation. So, what are your thoughts on those?
Well, yeah, you said a lot there.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of what you said, I agree with. Because within Pantheon we have the nine-universal laws,
Hmm.
and the fifth law is the law of peace and detachment. And
Okay.
so detachment is very important. Like you should not be attached to things and attached to people and attached to situations and all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now you can pursue without being attached to it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can, invest in it. You can nurture it. You can cultivate it. All those things without the attachment.
Mm.
So attachment is more the way I define it, more like there's some kind of involuntary thing happening within you that's causing you to be connected to a thing. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? So it's out of your conscious control. That's how I
Mhm.
see attachment.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's why I'm not really a big proponent of being in love, because
Hmm.
being in love is like an involuntary thing.
Yeah.
Well, why are you in love with him? I don't know. I don't know. Like that's not a good thing. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like you need to understand why you have the connection you have. You need to be able to have some level of control over it,
Mm.
so that you're not a wreck if things don't go a particular way, or you're
Mm.
not being overly possessive,
Mm.
or if the man does leave or the woman does leave, you're not just depressed for the next 3 years. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? So that's how I look at attachment. A lot of things that you read, I do agree with, but I can't
Yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
every single thing.
I went through it fast because, but here's the thing, Rakim, a lot of women don't understand because they like the way when a dark masculine detaches, like, okay, just say a woman breaks up with the man or the man breaks up with her. They have a breakup. And like it takes her a while to like get over him, whereas he just moves on. And so, for example, with Megan and Clay, they broke up, and then he was on his yacht, just sailing around on his yacht, playing music, hanging out with friends, and he didn't say anything about Megan at all. So like people were like, well, like how can these men don't care? Like that's how women are interpreting it.
Well, that's the wrong interpretation.
Okay.
You're not in his head and his heart. You don't know if he's over her or not, or how he feels about her. That's the thing about these relationships. You don't know anything about the reality of what they're dealing with and what they're going through and how they feel about each other. So
Mm.
just because he posted a thing of being on a yacht doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
He could be dying inside. You know what I'm saying? Like what? And on the yacht,
Okay.
or like a lot of men say, well, women be crying and all that, but they really don't care. It's just manipulation.
Mm.
So none of that impacts anything. The
Okay.
bottom line is, in my opinion, I believe that they both cared about each other. I believe they were both greatly affected by the breakup.
Mhm.
You see what I'm
And
saying? Now
why
they
is it so?
handle it
Yeah.
differently.
Why does it seem that like dark masculine men, even you, like you'll have a breakup and then like the next day you have a new girlfriend?
Well, first of all, when I do a breakup, I'm open, I'm poly. So
Hmm.
I've always got multiple women around me.
Okay.
Like I'm never going to be alone. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's the way it's always worked for me. Like the way it's worked for me is like when a void is created in my life with women, there's an immediate, somebody immediately comes in to fill that void. Like I don't go a long time without sex, without love, without companionship.
Hmm.
And however you want to interpret that, it is what it is. So it's not like I'm just moving on to move on. Like, no, I have women in my life who really do love me and want to be with me. And because I'm open, those women have always been around. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
might not have been engaging with them like that before, but as
Mm-hmm.
soon as the breakup happens and the door opens, yeah, and they say, "Well, hey, let me take you on a date, Rakhem. Let me treat you. Let me fly you over here. Let me do this. Let me do that." I'm not gonna say no, what I'm saying? Or not continuously. They're trying to cheer me up and trying to nurture me and trying to help me feel better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
And women interpret that as like, oh, he's an avoidant. Like he just moves on so quickly. Like something's wrong with him.
Yeah, these are the same women who are not able to function inside relationships.
Mm,
They're misinterpreting a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you misinterpreted the man inside the relationship and you misinterpreted after the breakup.
mm,
So when women are interpreting saying, well, he must be over her already and moved on, you don't understand anything. That's why you weren't able to be successful in your relationship because you didn't understand what you were looking at.
oh wow.
You see what I'm saying? You couldn't read your man properly. You
Mm,
weren't in touch with him properly. You're not your dark feminine. Just like you said with the dark masculine being able to be in touch with the feminine, the dark feminine, what makes her so powerful sexually, she's able to be in touch with the masculine. So she knows how her man is feeling. You see what I'm saying? Like she don't need to hear it from him. She doesn't need the I love yous.
mm,
She's there. She feels him. You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? She observes the moves and the changes and you see what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. So that's really what it's more about is like you actually being in touch with these individuals. No, again, all the people talking online, these are people who are clueless. That's why they're talking. They're searching for answers or they're venting their frustration or whatever. But no, like so with the Clay and Megan situation, no. To me,
Mhm.
both of them were equally affected by the breakup. Clay loved Megan, period. And Megan loved Clay. And they were both hurt by that breakup. But they
Yeah.
needed help. Like they got to a rough point where they started talking about some real stuff, some real things came up, and they didn't have anybody there to really help them. The people around them were like monogamous minded and not really progressive in their thinking and very threatened. So
Mm,
if he does this and that means that, or if she does that, and they went to fight or flight and they ended up breaking up.
mm, yeah.
And it was totally unnecessary. The
Yeah.
breakup was totally unnecessary. These are
Yeah.
two people. I ran their chart. I did a new compatibility report. I posted it in the group, and you
Mhm.
comment on it. Like they're mostly greens,
Yeah.
like sexually green, personality green. I think the only orange might have been their role,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they match up really well.
Totally. Totally. So, okay, there's a guy called I Am Truth Hurts 357. I do a lot of social media research. I
Yeah,
follow,
I see.
and one of the reels he said, he advised men to stop dating women who are in survival mode. He said men should not be dating washed up women with multiple baby daddies, high body count. She can't love you properly because she's trying to survive. She's an opportunist. She's dating out of survival. She'll marry you for survival. What are your thoughts on that advice, Rakam?
That's true. Yeah, I mean, you can't again monogamous culture, capitalism. So
Hmm.
people do marry and date for money and for survival. There are a
Mm.
lot of women who are inside their marriages right now only because of financial reasons and survival. To me,
Okay.
that was the whole Shira Seven thing.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and also with I'm not gonna name the person, but
Yeah.
there's other people I look at and I say, okay, you're in that relationship, you're not leaving. Like if I were to drop $1 billion into your account today, do you stay with the man? For a lot of women, the answer is no. You see what I'm saying? The answer is no. Like so, but the women who don't have means, they end up staying with the guy.
Mhm.
You understand? And
Mhm.
men do the same thing too. It's not just women. Men stay with women because of financial security
Mm.
or because of stability or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you wouldn't date somebody that's in survival mode.
Yeah, of course I would.
Oh, you would. Okay.
Yeah.
The advice was don't date women who are in survival mode.
Yeah, I don't care. Like I'm saying I'm not I don't look at life like that.
Okay.
Like she can be in survival mode or whatever. Now women in survival mode are not going to be drawn to me.
Huh.
Why? Why would they be in survival? I'm not housing any women, or you know what I'm saying? So women don't come to me because they're in survival mode.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually come to me because they want something, like they want healing, or they want me to activate them so they can attract their dark masculine or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. Like, let's do the exchange.
Okay.
But if they did come to me in survival mode, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
care. Yeah, as long as you give me what I need, I'll give you what you need. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Like I understand it. Like, I'm not offended by it. Like, I get it. It's real.
Okay.
I'm not gonna judge women for being in survival mode. You're trying to provide for you, for your children. You're
Mm,
having a rough time out here. The economy sucks. Like, I get it, bro.
mm,
So yeah, if you need support and I can offer that support, as long as it's an equal exchange, I don't care.
mm,
Like, again, like my thing with like the dating stuff is like, as long as you're looking at it realistically, we should be good.
mm,
Now, if you're into the romantic stuff and the romantic fantasy that monogamy tries to create, like, oh, it's always about being in love and all that, then you in for a rough awakening,
mm.
bro.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
totally do.
Because that's not the truth. It's not real. It's a fantasy. It's Disney. Like, literally,
Yeah,
it's Hollywood, bro. You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? You're falling for it. Marriage is not that. Marriage is like a serious business, bro.
Mm.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about high value goddess because I know I know you've been wanting to talk about this. So here's what she said. She said, "You know this man. He walks in a room and commands attention. Effortlessly magnetic, overflowing with confidence, women naturally drawn to him, that unexplainable glow. And you think, what is it about him? But here's the question no one's asking. Where's all that energy actually coming from? Because energy doesn't just materialize, it's transferred. And if he's radiating that much light, someone else is providing it. Think about what happens when a woman invests in a man. She gives him her prayers and intentions, her emotional support and labor, her nurturing and healing energy, her physical intimacy and vulnerability, her time, attention, and care, her feminine softness that balances his edges. That's powerful spiritual energy. Now imagine he's receiving that from three, four, five women simultaneously, all pouring into him, all building him up, all covering him spiritually. He's not just confident, he's energetically full, full of their light, their prayers, their energy. And you're attracted to the cumulative glow of multiple women investing in him. You're not drawn to him, you're drawn to them. So before you fall for his charisma, ask yourself, why is he this magnetic but emotionally unavailable? Where is this confidence actually being sourced from? Is he built from within or borrowing from women? Does his energy feel earned or harvested? Because a man who is genuinely whole built his confidence through discipline and purpose, cultivated his character through self work and integrity, developed his presence through spiritual growth. He doesn't need to feed off multiple women to feel powerful. But a man who is charismatic yet hollow, who charms but never commits, who glows but leaves women drained, he's an energy vampire. And that magnetic pull you feel, that's not attraction to him. That's you sensing the light of other women he's wearing like a costume. And she then goes on to say, don't fall for borrowed light. Wait for a man who generates his own from the inside out. Your thoughts, Rakhem Seku.
Yeah, that's just crazy as fuck. So there's so much there to unpack. So
Okay.
first of all, yeah, like, I believe that people generate their energy and light from within primarily.
Hmm.
Like, her statement that like a woman can pour into a man so much that he's like glowing and charismatic,
Hmm.
way beyond what he would normally be. Like, normally
If he
he's
has
like,
three, four, five women.
okay, but let's unpack that. You ready?
Yeah.
If so, the average woman can't really, add to a man's light in that way. These would have to be powerful women in my view, right?
Okay.
So in other words, the average woman when she's with a man, she's not turning him into some charismatic figure. Okay. Like, she doesn't have the power to really increase him in that way. That's number one. Number
Okay.
two, I believe powerful women can do that. Like, I feel like I do that for women. Like, the
Mhm.
women around me, they become much more attractive and they start magnetizing. Like even my girlfriend now here in Houston, like she's said it. Like, yeah, like since I've been with you, I'm making more money, I'm more attractive, like all the things. You see what I'm saying? I'm attracting higher quality men, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So I believe there's people who can do that. Okay. Now here's the thing. That's not most people that can do that. There's a select number of people who can actually add to your glow and give you energy in that way. Okay. Now, if I'm a man and I've literally attracted 4 or 5 of those powerful women and they're all pouring into me, what does that say about me?
Well, she
That's
says you're an energy vampire.
no, not because powerful women know the difference.
Mm,
You understand?
mm,
That's where she's fucking up at.
mm,
See, powerful women that can actually pour into you, they cultivated that power. They're
mm,
not going to waste it on a man who like has no integrity or is not giving them something equal or greater in return. Or you see what I'm saying?
mm,
Powerful
mm,
women don't do that. That's the reason why I'm doing the course with the dark feminine. Dark feminine women aren't wasting their time on a man who is not giving them what they want.
mm,
You see what I'm saying?
mm,
So these powerful women are pouring into this man. If he's got multiple women, that means all the women are happy with him.
mm,
You understand? Because they're offering the light that they've cultivated. They're
yeah.
offering the power they've cultivated and giving that to him. So what's that saying about him? To me, it says he's just a king. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what a king is. A king is a man who's got multiple powerful women around him, and
Mm,
those women pour into him and increase his glow and his charisma. In addition to him doing his inner work and doing his cultivated work and all that kind of stuff to make him that much more powerful on the planet.
mm,
Period, point blank. The issue with a lot of the narratives that a lot of women influencers are putting out there is they're trying to make it seem like all women out here can do these things.
oh, wow.
Like all women out here can pour into a man and have light to give and have cultivated power. No, that's you know that's the rare of the breed out here.
Mm,
Most women have no conscious awakening. Most women haven't cultivated any power. Most women are not dark feminine.
mm,
Most women aren't even cultivated divine feminine or
mm,
cultivated enlightened feminine. You understand what I'm saying? So
mm,
it's like most women, what they're pouring into a man is not something that is actually um, usable.
mm,
Now, from that being said, yeah, a lot of women do support men. They cook for them, they clean for them, they take care of them and stuff like that, and that is a positive. You see what I'm
mhm,
saying? And men do the same thing. There's a lot of men here taking care of women,
yeah.
working, housing them, the whole thing. Like
Mm,
those things are helpful, but that's different than what she's talking about.
yeah.
She's talking about pouring your energy and power into a man that increases his light. In
Mm,
order to be a woman who can do that, you've cultivated your power. If you cultivated your power, you best believe you're choosing the right man to pour it into.
mm,
You understand? And so that's where she's off base. She's trying to make it seem like every single woman on the planet can pour it in that way. Absolutely not.
mm,
Only a select few are the
mm,
cultivated dark feminine, or the cultivated divine feminine, or the
yeah.
cultivated enlightened feminine.
Yeah, from what I could gather, she has an issue with polyamorous men.
Absolutely.
Like that's what it really is.
Absolutely. And the bottom line is, look, and this is the same thing with polyamorous women or men or polyandrous or polygynous or whatever. If you're a woman, for example,
Hmm.
and you've cultivated your life such that you have multiple men pouring into you, good for you, sis.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? Like you've earned that. You've cultivated that. That's the queen, the divine, the cultivated divine feminine.
mm,
If you've got men protecting you, you got men pouring into you, you got men looking out for you, you got multiple men paying for you, then you are a fucking goddess on the planet. Good
mm,
for you. Props to you. Don't let these wag ass women tell you that there's something wrong with you because you got multiple men protecting you out here in the world.
mm,
But the issue is because you're not able to do that, you're looking down upon it. And
mhm,
you're looking down upon the men who are able to do the same thing. If I'm a man, I got multiple women looking out for me. You understand? More power to me, especially if I'm a benevolent king. If I'm somebody who is being honorable with the women, and these women are in their power, and I'm giving back to them, I'm protecting them, I'm uplifting them. What's the problem?
mm, yeah.
So again, she's not really. clear minded about what she's presenting because she's in her emotions around it.
Yeah.
Powerful women, like truly powerful women, they're not pouring into somebody who don't deserve it. You believe
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and so to continue on, she had another post where she says it's about it's titled I never asked you to. So quote, I never asked you to is such a nasty thing to say after benefiting from someone's time and love. Let me explain why this phrase is manipulative, cruel, and gaslighting. Here's what I never asked you to really means. What they're saying is, I never asked you to cook for me, support me, be there for me, invest in me, sacrifice for me. And what they're actually saying is, I accepted everything you gave. I benefited from your effort. But now that you're asking for accountability, I'm going to pretend I never wanted it in the first place. It's a lie. Here's why this phrase is so damaging. It invalidates your efforts, making you feel stupid for caring. It shifts the blame to you suddenly. It shifts the blame to you. Suddenly, you're the problem for giving too much. It rewrites the relationship, pretending they were a passive recipient when they were actively benefiting. It's gaslighting, making you question if you imagined their acceptance and encouragement. Because here's the truth, they didn't have to ask, their actions asked. Showing up to the meals you cooked, accepting your emotional support, allowing you to be there during hard times, expecting your presence, your care, your love, that was them asking, just not with words. Your thoughts on that, Rakhem Seku?
Well, it's not them asking, it's them accepting. So if you accept the gift,
Mhm.
then you are now complicit.
Okay.
You understand?
Mhm.
So if a man's in a relationship and the woman is feeding him and doing all these things for him,
Mhm.
then you are complicit in that giving because
Okay.
you're the receiver. You
Mhm.
understand? So from that standpoint, absolutely. When
Mhm.
if a and when that conversation comes up where a man would say, "Well, I didn't ask,"
Mhm.
why does that conversation come up? Usually, she's throwing that in his
In his
face.
face. Yeah. I look at all that I did for you.
Exactly. So it's a defense mechanism. I agree that it's the wrong thing for him to say, but
Mm.
let's understand the context of why it's even a question. Either way, it's a question because she's throwing it at him. Well, I cooked for you. I did da 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 whatever. You know, like this. Okay, well, like let me get defensive. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Is I didn't really ask for any of that shit.
Mm.
You said you like to do that stuff naturally.
Mhm.
That's what you do in all relationships. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the men get defensive. But I agree, he should accept and say, well, yeah, you did those things, and I appreciate those things.
Well, here's an actual example that I told you about. I think like 2 years ago, as a client of mine, where she got her dark masculine man an apartment. Like she leased it, she put it in her name. Like he wasn't paying any of the rent at all.
Yeah,
And she was expecting exclusivity from him, sexual exclusivity, and he wasn't abiding by that.
that was the agreement.
I don't know.
You started like a motherfucker with that one, boy. Was that the agreement for the apartment?
I don't know that they formally stated that.
Okay, well, done deal. It's just there we go. We got our answer.
But
Okay,
if I'm paying your rent, should you not think that it would be reasonable for you to give me exclusivity?
no,
Okay.
it has to be stated. So here's the deal. Because I've had women offer to buy me apartments,
Mhm.
condos, like
Mhm.
buy me a condo. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't come with any attachments, and so I didn't accept it because I didn't want what came with it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I said, if I accept it, then I'm complicit in the
Oh,
giving.
okay.
So if she does try to throw it in my face later, or tries to make me do something or whatever, then well, yeah, you're right. You did get me an apartment. You did buy me a condo. So
Mm.
instead of like dealing with that, I just say fuck no.
Okay.
Keep
But
keep
that's
your
the man, he didn't refuse to let her rent an apartment for. He's living in the apartment.
I know, but if they didn't have an agreement where, okay, I'm gonna pay for the apartment, the
Mhm.
exchange for me paying for the apartment is you being exclusive. If that
Mhm.
wasn't the formal agreement, then no, you can't just expect that. You have to talk about it. You have to open your mouth before you
Mhm.
spend $40,000 this year on an
Mhm.
apartment, and
Mhm.
you have to say, "This is why I'm doing this. I'm not doing it because I love you. I'm doing this as an exchange for exclusivity." You see what I'm saying? Because I could take it as you love me, and that's why you're doing this for me. Like you feel like you I deserve an apartment, or I deserve clothes, or a car, or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like when a man buys a woman a car, what's the expectations on that? The attachment on that? No, he's not saying, "Well, I'll give you this car if you're exclusive." No, he's just buying her the car.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So no, you have to state what it is if it's not about love. And here's
Mhm.
the other thing too.
Okay.
She's also benefiting from that apartment because she probably got in that apartment, so she got a place to go fuck him in private.
Yes.
So it's not really even about him. You got this shit for you, really. You see what I'm saying? Because now you got a key. You could control me. You
Mm.
can threaten me with it's my place and all that. It's a control mechanism. It's
Oh,
a control power move you're pulling.
yeah.
So no, I'm not assuming anything. I'm not giving you anything extra.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Because I know what's really in your heart. And this goes back to what I said earlier about women saying they love a man or whatever. You don't love me. You see what I'm saying? You're just doing this out of your own self-interest.
Mm.
Because if you love me, when you give me something, you won't say, I won't hear about this shit ever again. You'll
Mm.
never throw it in my face.
Mm.
That's how I judge shit. If I give something to somebody and I bring it back up later, I know I was on some bullshit.
Mm.
I don't care what it is or why I'm bringing it back up. If I bring it back up on some, you need to appreciate this, or here's
Mm.
my tally of things I added to your life or whatever, I was on some bullshit. So
Mm.
anybody who brings something like that back up, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a flower, a piece of clothing, a pair of shoes, or a Lamborghini.
Mm.
If I bring it back up, then I was on some bullshit.
Yeah. So, we're gonna talk about Shira Seven just for a little bit because there's a the gay male coach that I to told you about. His name is Dating Coach Anwar, and some months ago, I think it was before her husband's passing, and he criticized her for getting with a man who was already married and had a girlfriend. So, when she met her husband, he was married and he had a mistress, and she knew that. And so, Dating Coach Anwar says dating karma is real. She was engaging in love scarcity mindset and coming from a disempowered place and using men for money and lacking in intimacy and going after unavailable men, yada, yada, yada. So the women, of course, took offense to what he was saying because, she has a huge following of diehard fans. And so two of them, I'm going to read what two of them said. One said, men don't like us. They only want sex. They will pretend to like us just for sex. They're not looking for long term. So it only makes sense to go after their money. Because when it's over, at least you won't be sad twice. And a second woman said, I don't want intimacy. I want financial security and stability. That's my end all be all. She has a specific target audience, and I'm one of them. So, like, your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I told you before, I felt like there are certain women out there
Hmm.
and they're looking just for the money.
Hmm.
And I don't have any issue with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you don't need intimacy, you don't need connection, you don't need love and all that, then there's no issue. Just, go get with somebody who has money. You
Mm-hmm.
guys are giving each other equal exchange. I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, her husband already being married, I mean, that's just there's women are always going to be competing with each other for
Hmm.
men and territory and stuff like that. That's just the way
Yeah,
of the world.
totally. So I'm going to move on to Dr. Cheyenne and Justin LeBoy. So there are a few reels that I just want to mention to you quickly. So in one of the reels, she said, any man who doesn't marry his baby mother is a womanizer. Any man with multiple baby mothers is a selfish womanizer and a narcissist if he doesn't give her any covering or provision. And then Derek Jackson responded to her and said, as a man who married my children's mother, sometimes you're ready to be a great father long before a great husband. Not realizing that just caused me to hurt everyone involved. So now, womanizers may hurt a woman, but modeling a toxic marriage to children traumatizes everyone. So your thoughts, Rakim?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what he's saying, what Derek is saying.
Hmm.
I disagree with this. If a man has a baby with a woman that he needs to
Be-
marry her, otherwise he's a womanizer or whatever,
Mhm. Mhm.
I think that's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, people are having sex,
Mm.
and people take risks with the sex. because they want it to feel good. They want it to be an actual, real sexual experience,
Mm-hmm.
which means they're having it unprotected. And the reason why they're probably having sex in the first place is because she's probably ovulating, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and open to him or whatever. And that's how nature guarantees that the human species doesn't go extinct.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always gonna be a lot of babies out of wedlock.
Mm.
That's just the way it is. Again, people try to ignore nature,
Okay.
ignore who we are, ignore that program that runs within us to keep us alive and keep the species going. But that's just the reality.
Mm.
But no, I don't believe that a man needs to, if he doesn't marry his baby mama, that he's a womanizer.
Mm.
No, he's just a man who's trying to have sex and didn't pull out in time or whatever, and they got pregnant and had a baby,
Mhm.
and probably against his will in many cases. And
Mhm.
so from that standpoint, you lean on the law and you do the child support thing, or you guys do joint custody or whatever you're gonna do, and you do the best you can to show up for that child,
Mhm.
even though you don't know each other like that and probably don't really care for each other like that.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In terms of a man not giving her whatever provision that she needs, I mean, he needs to. It's best if he supports the child to the best of his ability.
Mhm.
And be a co-parent to the child, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But this whole thing where you're trying to paint it like he just needs to be giving her everything, like that's ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So another thing that she said, which this one was actually interesting to me. She said nowadays men are actually more serious about being in relationships than women. Men are ready to be married. Women are now manizers. That's her term, manizers. Women are playing the field. They want the man to perform. They're gold diggers. They won't let the man lead. And so she was basically saying women need to be less transactional and like really actually love the man. So do you think it's true that men are actually more serious about being in a relationship than women in this time and day?
No,
Okay.
I think what it is, we have a new generation of women who have choices.
Mm.
They have the freedom to make choices, and some women want the money, like we said earlier.
Hmm.
Some women want a man who's going to provide. Some women want great sex. So women are just trying to work out what they're looking for,
Mm.
and they're not willing to settle,
Hmm.
which I think is great. And so that's what's happening.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
speaking bad against the fact that we're in the women's empowerment age.
Okay.
And yes, it's true. A lot of women are making a mess of their lives and a mess of stuff as they're trying to figure it out. But that's a part of freedom. A
Mm.
part of freedom is you get to go out in the world and fuck up,
Mm.
and ruin your relationship or ruin potential relationships or not engage or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But that's just a part of freedom.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I support women in being able to choose what they want for themselves.
Yeah.
Again, the only thing that I say that a lot of women have an issue with is I say, well, whatever it is that you want, you do need to do the work to attract it
Mm.
and to magnetize it and to create it. Like you're not entitled to anything,
Hmm.
So a lot of women try to straddle the fence between the old world fantasy,
Mm.
relationship scenario and the new world of empowerment.
Hmm.
And, you have to choose a side.
Yeah. And so she also said women are okay with being side chicks, which means that they have a self-love, self-worth deficit. And they have daddy issues, meaning that they never had their father love on them or dote on them. Therefore, she settles for any man who chooses her. And or she has mommy issues, which means she wants to tear down her mother because she resents her mother, and so she takes that out on other women. And so that's how she sees side chicks. What's your perception of side chicks?
Well, no, I don't agree with that.
Hmm.
I believe, remember earlier you asked, well, the woman wants the dark masculine.
Hmm.
She doesn't want to go with a man who's going to give her like lesser dick and lesser sex. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah.
So one solution for that is to share the man.
Hmm.
So it means if he's already married or in a committed situation, you can be the second woman or the second wife or whatever it is,
Hmm.
and still have access to the kind of sex and connection you've been looking for.
Hmm.
So I don't have any issue with that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like again, in monogamous culture, again, that stuff is always done under the table and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that's the issue, is that, you know, everybody's lying.
Mm,
But from a principle standpoint, if a woman wants to accept that for her lifestyle, like why is that worse than women choosing to be celibate for the next 20 or 30 years?
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Look, this is a woman
mm,
who, well, she's getting some of her needs met at least.
mm.
And like I told you before, a lot of women are not trying to be with a man 24/7.
Yeah,
Like they legitimately do not want to live with a man.
yeah.
They don't want him in the house all week, all month. They want their privacy. So they're fine spending a weekend, every weekend or every other weekend, whatever it is, or a week here, a week there. But they don't want the man around 24/7. And I respect that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
It's not just about you got to live with the man, you got to be up under him every day. I don't agree with that.
hmm.
Everybody got to share a room. I don't agree with that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of women legitimately, like you would be a lot happier inside your relationship right now if you would get your own place or at
Mm,
least have your own room,
yeah.
like create some separation. God damn. And
Yeah.
so a lot of these quote unquote side chick women, these are women who found that balance.
Mm,
They found the amount of balance that they're spending by themselves and also the amount of balance spending with a dark mask. And the other thing I'll say about that, a lot of these women that you're talking about, the side women, they got
mhm,
other men. They're not just with the one guy. They
mm,
still have their freedom. They're traveling,
mhm.
fucking dudes in the islands. You see what I'm saying? Like they're doing their thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened with Derek Jackson. He had a side chick, and then the side chick cheated on him.
Yeah, these women are free. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to find that balance, like the best of all the worlds. And
Hmm.
again, a lot of women, they don't want to be up under a man every day. I
Hmm.
can't stress that enough. It's
Hmm.
not even natural for her to be up under a man every day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you're really built for that, which most people are not. You need to have your own life. You need to have some kind of sovereignty, some kind of independence, some kind of separation.
Hmm.
So I don't have any judgment around the quote unquote side chick women.
Yeah. And another thing that she said is cheating is a narcissistic behavior. It is rooted in fear, trauma, and insecurity. Anyone who needs multiple people has deep codependency issues and is seeking validation outside of themselves. They can't be alone. They don't like parts of themselves and therefore project those parts onto other people and manipulate them into showing up the way that they want them to show up. Your thoughts?
She's crazy as hell, man. What? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is her problem, bro? No, people.
Men like Nick Cannon who sleep with a multitude of women. That's what her problem is.
Well, Nick Cannon might be a narcissist,
Okay.
but he's a particular case.
Okay.
This is a guy who's like got babies all over the place
Hmm.
and can't possibly be there for them all,
Mm-hmm.
and is extremely reckless with his sexuality or was.
Mm-hmm.
But no, needing or wanting multiple people is not narcissistic. That shit is crazy as hell. What the fuck is she even talking about? You know what I mean? No, people need people. We're communal by nature. We need multiple people on all different types of levels, friendships, romantic partnerships, family, brotherhood, sisterhood. We all need multiple people. What the fuck? What is wrong with folks? That's what I'm saying. The culture of monogamy has got people's minds so fucking twisted up that they would come up with a theory like that.
Yeah.
No, needing multiple people is not narcissistic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, lying about it, which goes back to
Yes.
monogamous culture as opposed to being polyamorous,
Mm,
that's the narcissism.
mm,
So you can make a lot of cases for people inside monogamy being narcissistic.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Expecting one person to uh to be all about you for everything, for all
mm.
their needs. That's more narcissistic to me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You expect this person, to look at you as their one and everything in life.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you even talking about, bro? And then get mad when they don't see you that way, or they look to somebody else for some emotional support or something. Like what's the problem? That to me is more narcissism
Mhm,
than being tribal or communal.
mm,
So I don't know what she's talking about. That's some
yeah,
crazy ass theories. This is the issue when somebody who doesn't really have any solid relationship success
mm,
is out here talking to people. Forget
yeah,
the credential argument. That's a
yeah,
separate thing.
yeah.
Like, do you know what the fuck you're talking about based on your personal experience? The
Mm,
answer is no. Your personal life is a fucking mess. In
mm,
terms of your relationships,
yeah.
what do you have to demonstrate that your theories are correct?
Mm,
I've got 30 years of marriage under my belt and multiple partnerships. I can
yeah.
I can give you women references,
Mm,
past partners and current partners who would speak highly of me and how I approached it.
mm,
Can you do that, Dr. Bryant? No, shut the
mm,
fuck up.
mm. Yeah. Whew.
That's how I look at it.
Wow. Mm.
And not shut the fuck up as in don't say anything. I mean, keep doing
Uh-huh.
your career, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, make a living. But no, I'm not. Don't expect like real motherfuckers to look at what you're saying and take it seriously.
Mm,
We're not.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. There was another reel by some men, like they were like the women. They had like a women audience, and the women would get up and ask their question, and the men would give them their answer. And so one of the women asked, "Well, why do men pursue women when they're not even ready for a relationship?" And the man said to her, "Well, non-committal men pursue women for validation and conquest. It's just a game that they're playing, you know. It's just a validation and conquest thing." So, what are your thoughts on that?
So can you repeat that?
So she was asking, why do men pursue, she used the word pursue women when they're not actually ready for a relationship? And he said, well, men just want validation, and the men who do that type of thing just want validation and conquest.
Well, what about sex? Do the men want sex?
Yes.
Okay, well that's what it to me is more like it is for me, is like these are men who want sex.
Okay.
Remember I told you earlier, because of monogamous culture, you can't just go to a woman and say, well, I just want sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
gotta pretend
Oh my God.
like they're
Yeah.
interested, or you see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Okay, so I gotta say something about that. So I actually saw another thing on Facebook where like this, like men are actually doing this, like because they figured women out. They know that there's a lot of really uptight women who have this thing where it's like, okay, I'm gonna make him wait 3 months or 6 months, and unless he's in love with me, unless he says what I want to hear, I'm not gonna sleep with him. So there's men that are playing that game. They're like, okay, all right, I'll wait the 6 months, and I'll tell you everything you want to hear. I'll tell you I'm in love with you and all of that, and then the man gets the sex, and then he blocks her the next day.
Absolutely. Because remember, the the formal law that governs all this is metaphysics, which is like attracts like. So
Okay.
if you're a woman and you're playing games with a man, like you're the kind who plays games, you're going to attract a man who also plays games. So the game is you make him wait. That's your game.
Mhm.
His game is play along and then block once he hits. So she's attracting her like energy. That's why I tell women, be authentic.
Mhm.
Don't play games, because if you play games, you're going to attract somebody who's inauthentic and who also plays games.
Mhm.
Like a lot of women they can't figure that out. They think they can lie their way through a situation and then attract a real, authentic, upfront man. It doesn't work that way. Liars attract liars.
Mhm.
Game players attract game players. That's how it works. That's the metaphysics of the world.
But here's the thing though, Raquel, like the women don't see it as game playing. A lot women are being told by many influencers and coaches and therapists and whatnot that you should make him wait at least 3 months to make sure that he's not trying to use you.
I understand that influencers are saying this.
Hmm.
That's why I told you influencers don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I commented on this 10 years ago when Steve Harvey released his book.
Yes, yeah.
And he put the 90-day rule out there, which was always out there. And I said back then, I said, look, any man who understands how all this stuff works is going to just play along with it and just wait. And while he's waiting on you, he's having sex with somebody else or multiple women on the side. So he's not going without.
Hmm.
And then once you say, okay, let's have sex, he's going to have sex with you.
Hmm.
And he might continue to do that or whatever, but you're not going to, these silly games are just dumb.
Yeah.
Now, if you feel like you don't want to have sex and that's how you really feel, then don't have sex.
Hmm.
You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
do it because you really feel like you're not ready or you want to wait or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
have any issue with a woman waiting because it's what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Same thing with a man. If you want to wait as a man, I've done it before. I've been with women who want to fuck me, and I'm like, no.
Mm,
Multiple women
mm,
who want to have sex with me, like for the first time.
mhm.
And I'm the one that's like, acting standoffish and like, nah, I'm gonna go home, or we're not doing that.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah.
Like multiple times. So because I'm not comfortable,
Mm,
I don't feel like you're in the right state of mind to give you the dick. Not
mm,
this dick.
hmm,
You see what I'm saying?
hmm,
So yeah, I'm gonna wait. You got to show me more.
hmm.
I've had women who are interested in being with me and dating me. They wouldn't do the work. You see what I'm saying? They're not doing the work. I'm like, I'm not gonna date you.
Mm,
Period. You're
mm,
not ready.
mm.
So I don't have any issue with you waiting.
Yeah,
Anybody that's, if you're not ready to have sex, you shouldn't have sex.
yeah.
No one should feel pressure to have sex or
Okay.
try to trap somebody through sex. Like, don't do that. Have sex because
Yeah,
you want to genuinely have it.
correct,
But
correct.
sex is just sex. It doesn't mean that the person's going to be with you or that they love you per se or whatever. Like, don't look at it like that. Look at it
Mm,
like you're just operating out of your authentic self. You feel like this is the right thing to do for you.
for sure. And the thing is, I've seen women get extremely hurt by this. Like I was in a Facebook group one time, and this woman, like, she did everything she was told to do. She made him wait. She waited to see if he would say the things that, she was told that a man needs to say to show that he's serious. And he did all the things. And the 3 months came, and she finally had sex, and he blocked her the next day, and she was completely devastated.
Absolutely.
Like, so women think they're doing the right thing, and then the guy just takes off.
Yeah, I can't stress this enough. Like, following these influencers has been the peril of many women.
Mm.
Like, that the video came out. Remember the black girl with the white guy in Tanzania or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
You saw the video just came out where he's like chasing her through the hotel.
No, I didn't
It
see
just
it.
it just came out. I didn't see it either, but somebody told me about it.
Okay.
But it's like, you know, people listen to these influencers and like you can't really just do that.
Mm.
Like, I'm not saying all the information is bad or whatever, but you can't just take what they're saying and and think that it's right.
Yeah,
And they haven't shown a track record of it being right.
yeah.
So for example, if the influencer was on here saying, "Look, I made my man wait 90 days,
Mm.
right? We've been together for 5 years or 2 years or whatever. Here he is. Hey Jason, how did you feel about me making you wait 90 days?" And he gets on and says, "Yeah, that was the right thing. That helped me just really be able to connect with you more and appreciate you more and not see you as a hoe and all that." Like, if the influencers were doing that,
Mm.
then I would say, okay, that makes more sense.
Mhm.
And Jason's like saying, well, yeah, and just so you know, that strategy is a great strategy. It doesn't work on all guys though. Here's the kind
Mm.
of guy it works with.
Yes,
He's
yes.
like he's a secure attachment looking guy. He has
Mhm.
these following qualities like X, Y, and Z. He states that he wants marriage or wants monogamy or whatever. He shows
Mhm.
it this way. Like, if the influencers were doing that,
Mhm.
then I would say yes, ladies, go ahead and follow what they're saying.
Mhm.
But these are just single pissed off women who are basically making money on TikTok and Instagram. You see what I'm saying? They're just
Mhm.
making money. It's a business.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're creating these cult followings and they're putting this information out here as though it's real, and this shit is not real. I
And
I
what
don't know
and
how
what
to
they're
I don't know how else to express that. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. And what they're not saying is that, okay, yeah, you fine, you can make him wait the 3 months or the 6 months or whatever, but like if you're lame in bed, if you don't know how to have an orgasm, like what a lot of these women they're not actually saying is that, okay, yeah, he waited the 3 months, but then when we fucked, the sex was terrible.
Yeah.
They're
And
not
she would
admitting that part.
and she wouldn't give him head. And he's used to women like licking balls, what I'm saying? Like, doing the whole thing, and you get in here, you made me wait 90 days and then you're lame as fuck? Like, no, I'm not doing that. That, because that, what that comes off as? That comes off as you're playing games to hide, insecurities and insufficiencies.
Mm,
So instead of just coming out and admitting that you're not really experienced, you're
mm,
going to make me wait and try to hide the fact you're not experienced.
mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's deception.
Yeah.
Like you're like in addition to making me wait, you didn't really have any reason to really make me wait. It's like it's a strategy to get me. You see what I'm saying? You don't trust my judgment to be able to choose who I like and who I don't like. You need to try to coerce me or manipulate me into thinking that you're more than who you actually are, or
Mm,
that what I'm thinking you are.
yeah.
So that it's deception.
Mm,
So you end up attracting deceptive people and deceptive behavior.
mm.
That's the mirror.
Ooh, like attracts like. Oh my
Like
God.
attracts like.
Yeah. Okay, so just a few last TikToks. So one of the TikTokers was saying that a man will do everything under the sun to sleep with you, and then once he gets it, he'll lose interest in you. And so this is why the women are afraid. It's such a mind fuck. Like, because women are thinking, okay, if I have sex with him right away, then he will lose interest in me. But that's not true across the board. He'll lose interest if you didn't actually enjoy it. But from my experience, if you have sex with a man right away and you fucking love that shit, like you were extremely orgasmic, the sex was incredible, like chances are he's gonna want to see you again.
Absolutely. So that's the statement I think we need to make, which is, I guess one of the things that I'm saying is when you have sex with a man, it's not the determinant as to whether or not he's going to be with you or not. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not a formula.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
not like if you fuck him on day one, he'll be with you or not be with you, or you fuck him on day 90, he'll be with you or not. Like
Yeah.
when you fuck him is not of any consequence.
Mm,
So if he likes you, right, then he's going to pursue you no matter what. If you make him wait or you don't make him wait. Does that make sense?
mm,
If
yeah.
he enjoys the sex or sees it as having potential or whatever, then he's going to, want to have more sex with you,
Mhm,
as opposed to not.
mhm,
Like though these what what determines if a man's going to be with you is who you are as a woman.
mhm,
Is the quality of your character, is your energy, are you dope, are you powerful, you see what I'm saying, are you magnetic, do you have the values that align with him, you've got the personality that aligns with him. Like that's what determines if he's going to be with you,
mhm.
not the tricks and all that kind of stuff. You got to do a trick or whatever, he doesn't like you. You understand? And
Exactly.
the same
Yeah.
thing vice versa. Like a lot of men do tricks. Like a lot of men go trick, they make a lot of money to get the woman. Well, guess what, if you got to do that to get her to like you, she don't like you. That's just, it's a period.
Yeah.
Now if you just happen to have money because of whatever, like that's just your state of being, and you don't lead with that when it comes to being with women, then fine. That's a different scenario. But
Mhm.
men leading with money or making money to be impressive or getting a nice car to be impressive and attract women, yeah, guess what? She's not gonna like you, bro. She's gonna like the money. She's gonna like the car.
So another TikToker said that if a man says that he's had a crazy week, he's wasting your time and you should block him. And there's actually a celebrity who said something similar. It was Nia Long, and I think actually you put it in your stories. And it's where Nia Long said that if a man doesn't reply to her text within 24 hours, she's never speaking to him again. So how do you feel about that, Rakim?
Well, yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like communication is important. If I don't agree with the never speaking to him again thing.
Mhm.
I was talking with one of my clients about something like that the other day. I told her like these are people like they're not even in a relationship, they never met in person. I told her, I said, people are busy, man. Like nobody got time to be like responding all the time. That you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is somebody you don't really know. So yeah, if you know them and you guys are going back and forth and they ghost you for a day or two, whatever, that's fine. Then you can just say, okay, this is not going to work. But if
Mhm.
you haven't established anything with them, like people have circumstances.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so I don't agree with these absolute things. I'm not an absolutist
Mm.
where if a man doesn't text back or when doesn't text back, that means this.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. But it's fine. Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you want that rule, then, then,
But
then,
that
then
is how
do
a
it.
lot That is how a lot of women think. Like that's very common in anxious attachment is that I texted him and it's been 24 hours and I know he read the message because it says read or seen and he has not responded to me. So that does mean something.
Yeah, it does mean something. It means he hasn't responded. We don't. The truth is, we don't know why. Now, it could be because he's playing games and not interested. That is true. It could be that, or
Mhm.
it could be he's irresponsible or a bad communicator. It could be that too, or it could be he has other things going on, or it could be it slipped his mind or whatever. Like we don't know.
Mhm.
So again, it's fine if you want to stop talking to a guy because of that. Then fine. I'm just saying people drawing automatic meanings from all this stuff. That's not true. It's not accurate.
Yeah. And that's what fuels the anxious attachment. Like I said, is attachment, anxious attachment, you always assume a negative meaning. You always assume rejection and abandonment.
Absolutely.
You don't even allow any other consideration.
Absolutely. Because I know like that's a thing that women are doing now, like on the dating apps.
Mhm.
So you message a guy, if he doesn't respond within 24 hours, you delete him and block him or what you like unmatch him or whatever. It's like it to me it's hilarious, you know. Some of my best connections, and even with people I've talked to and I know who are married, the beginning wasn't smooth. Like it was like disconnect, communication disconnects, all kind of stuff, and then they finally it synced up. Because here's the thing: most of these people that you're talking about, these are older people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, right? And so everybody's got lives, and they also have other connections. So even if they're coming out of the connection, or you see what I'm saying, like it's still something else going on. So
Mhm.
what I'm saying is sometimes people need time
Yeah. Yeah.
to like be able to refocus their attention and shit. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I'm just saying it's not that cut and dry. Like
Mhm.
don't block this person permanently that you liked or that you were attracted to because they didn't reach out within 24 hours.
Mhm.
Like maybe you guys will connect next month or a year from now. You never know.
And usually if she's womb choosing him or he's a dark masculine man, she's actually not going to block him. It's actually most of the time he's blocking her or he's just not talking to her and she's having a meltdown,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
And the meltdown is because she's assuming that he's rejecting and abandoning her, which isn't necessarily true.
Correct.
So, okay, and there's one last TikTok and then we're done. And it was I love this one. It was a woman on TikTok and she was saying that with her when she has like she enjoys sex, she's really good at it, and so when she has sex with men, a lot of times they fall in love with her, and they're trying to turn it into a relationship, and she's just like, it was just good sex, and the men are
Absolutely.
completely confused.
Yeah, that's like a dark feminine.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like men, they get captivated and like the sex was amazing and she's pulling the emotion out of them. Remember we talked about earlier, like how the dark feminine can feel the emotion of the men, and
Yeah.
the dark masculine can feel the emotion of the women, like they're in connection, in contact, and intimate with how the people feel. But when the
Mm.
dark feminine makes love to you, she's connected to you emotionally, and she's responding to you based on that emotion, and she's feeding into that and nurturing that. You see what I'm saying? And like that's a part of how she makes love to you and cares for you and all that. And that a lot of men don't, they're not used to that shit. You see what I'm saying? And so they mistake that for she must be in love with me or love me or whatever. And she's like, no, that's just me being in complete and total open connection with you. Me being in tune with you. That's what that looks like and feels like. So, you know, that's an important thing you said because, women are on the other side of that too. It's not just the men ghosting the women or, like or being sought after by the women. No, it's women just are having the same exact issue.
Mm.
The dark feminine women, these men are trying to be with her.
Yeah.
You feel me? They're
Yeah.
trying to possess her, trying to claim her, trying to be in love with her and her in love. Like they're trying, like these women have the same exact issue the dark masculine men do.
Mm. Mm.
So it's not a gender thing.
Okay. Yeah.
It's who's inside of what archetype.
Mm.
So there's dope women out there and there's dope men out there. And both of those folks have the same types of, challenges and experiences.
Mhm. All right, Rakhem Seku, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, and we'll talk again soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Peace and blessings.